Hey guys, a lot of people are getting worried about their meat supply. And so one thing that, we noticed it when all of this first started. One, because we saw all the shortages at the grocery store, but also we had a lot of people coming wanting to buy our meat animals. And so specifically, we had a lot of extra turkeys from Thanksgiving. And so we sold all of those turkeys. So we decided to go ahead and start raising up Cornish crosses for meat. Cornish crosses are kind of a love or hate type of bird. They are not very intelligent. They are very, very dirty, very messy. If you thought ducks were messy, Cornish are worse because they are not very active birds typically. And so they will just lay in one spot and poop in one spot and then lay in their poop. They're awful. The other options, you do have some heritage breeds that are considered dual purpose. I raised the Australorps and they are considered dual purpose. The roosters do get very large. The problem is they're still close to 6 months before they're really a big enough size for me to butcher and really have enough meat on them. And they still don't have the breast meat like a Cornish does. You have Freedom Rangers, which are very popular alternative to the Cornish crosses. And those are probably the most similar. They are red feathered and yellow skinned, and some of the pigment is still left in the pore when you pull the feather out. So it's always possible that you're going to have some of that with, using a bird that has red feathers or dark feathers in general. We run into it a lot with the turkeys and the Australorps when we butcher them. I have seen some people that are raising their own Cornish crosses or something similar to a Cornish cross that's still a white feathered bird. People have developed their own crosses so that either they're more heat tolerant, they're more active. There's one hatchery in particular called Bob's Biddies that I am ordering from that they specialize in pastured poultry, and so the crosses they've developed are more active and more heat tolerant, so that they can be out on pasture. But then I have other friends, even here in Florida, that have their own purebred white Cornish and white rock birds, flocks, that they are then crossing to create their own Cornish crosses. So just because this is a hybridized bird that you cannot breed true when you're crossing them themselves, doesn't mean you cannot produce them on your homestead if you have those two breeds, or if you find some cross that you like that results in something similar. There are the heritage breeds, like I was saying. The Freedom Rangers, I think is what they're actually called. They take a few weeks longer than the Cornish crosses to grow out, so the meat may not be as tender, like if you like fried chicken, but they still make a really good broiler. And there are a few others. I know I've heard of, Danielle was telling me that she's actually going to be experimenting with Delawares because they are supposed to have large breasts similar to the Cornish. Again, they're going to take a little bit longer to grow out, so it remains to be seen if they'll be as tender. I still like growing out the Cornish because they are the most similar to your grocery store poultry that you buy, your grocery store chicken. And I like that big breast. I like having, big breasts to cook with. As you can see, these guys they're mainly staying in one spot. You probably can't see how much feed they've dropped all over the ground. Because I'm putting them in these crates during the day and I'm moving the crates every day, the ground isn't too bad as far as being dirty and whatnot. If you guys have got any questions about raising meat birds or anything like that, just post them below.